Hello, welcome to Embracing Love. We'll begin today with a meditation. We can close our eyes, start to settle into our seats. Feel our feet connecting us to the earth. Feel our hips connecting us to our seat. Feel the shoulders above the hips, head above the shoulders. Let's take a deep cleansing inhale, breathing in, feeling the ribs expand. And exhale. Start to let go of the day, unplug from the frantic pace of life. Surrender to this moment.
Did you have dinner?
I enough popcorn.
Let's begin by bringing our attention to our feet. We can start to imagine a soothing, calming, relaxing feeling starting in our toes. Maybe it helps to wiggle the toes first, feeling each individual toe. Then allow the toes to be still, allow the toes to relax. And feel this relaxation start to move up the feet, the balls of the feet, the arches of the feet, the heels, the tops of the feet. Feeling the feet completely relax. And we can imagine this relaxation as it spreads up into the ankles, front of the ankles, the sides of the ankles, the back of the ankles, Achilles tendon. Feeling the ankles completely relax. And then let's imagine this calming, soothing relaxation that spreads up into the lower legs, calf muscles, shin bone, inner leg, the outer leg. It might feel good to squeeze those lower leg muscles for a moment, and then allow them to be still. Allow the legs to completely relax. And then let's notice the knees, feeling the knees relax now. The kneecap, crease at the back of the knee, inside of the knee, the outside of the knee. Feeling the knees totally relaxed. And then we can feel this relaxation moving up into the upper legs, thighs, the big quadriceps muscles on top, hamstrings below, the inner thigh, the outer thigh, the big femur bone in the middle. Maybe it feels good to flex those thigh muscles for a moment and then allow them to completely relax. Allowing this relaxation to spread throughout the entire legs. Then we can imagine this calm, soothing relaxation spreading up into the hips, the pelvis, sides of the hips, the back of the hips, crease at the front of the hips, the big glute muscles. Maybe it feels good to flex those glute muscles for a moment and allow them to relax. Feeling the hips totally relax. And we can feel this relaxation moving up into the abdomen, lower abdomen, the sides of the abdomen, the lower back, lumbar spine. Maybe it feels good to clench those abdominal muscles for a moment and then let them relax. Letting the abdomen completely relax. Allowing the internal organs to also relax, the intestines, the kidneys, the liver. Feeling everything in the abdominal region completely relaxed. And we can feel this relaxation starting to spread up into the ribs, the lower ribs, the sides of the ribs, back of the ribs, the sternum, chest, as well as the lungs and the heart and the stomach on the inside. Allowing the chest to be completely relaxed. And we can start to notice the shoulders. I feel good to roll the shoulders up to our ears and down and back. Allowing them to be soft and relaxed. Feeling the collarbones relax, the shoulder blades, space in between the shoulder blades. Letting the shoulders completely relax. And then we can feel this relaxation spreading into the upper arms, through the armpit, into biceps and the triceps, bone between the inner arm, the outer arm. If it feels good, you can clench those upper arm muscles for a moment and then let them relax completely. Next, let's imagine the elbows relaxing, crease at the inside of the elbows, the sides of the elbows, the bony point at the back. Letting our elbows totally relax as this calm, soothing feeling spreads down into the forearms now. All those little forearm muscles, the bones in between, the inside of the arm, the outside of the arm. If you'd like, you can clench those lower arm muscles and then let them relax. Letting the lower arms be completely relaxed. Next, imagining the wrists as they relax. Maybe you swivel the hands around the wrist joint or allowing them to be still. Feeling the wrist relax, the inside of the wrist, the outside. And then feeling this relaxation moving into the hands, back of the hand, the palm of the hand, the fingers, thumb, knuckles. Feels good. You can wiggle the fingers for a moment, connecting with each individual finger, and then allowing the hands to be still, allowing them to totally relax. Now let's bring our attention up to the neck. Maybe you tilt the head first to one side, then the other, stretching out the neck. or allowing the neck to be still. Feeling the throat relax, the sides of the neck, the back of the neck. If there's any tension or tightness in the neck, maybe take a deep inhale. On the exhale, imagine tightness dissolving. Imagine those neck muscles loosening, releasing tension. And let's feel this relaxation moving up into the jaw. Maybe wiggle the jaw back and forth. Release any tension there. And allowing the jaw to be still, relax. Letting the teeth relax, the mouth, the lips, the tongue. Feeling the cheeks relax, the nose, the eyes, the eyelids, the eyebrows, spot in between the eyebrows, the forehead. Might feel good to scrunch up your face for a moment and then allow it to relax, letting all tension melt away from your face. And feeling this relaxation spreading into sides of the head, through the temples, the ears, to the back of the head. And finally, feeling this relaxation as it spreads up around the curve of the skull, up to the very tip of the skull. Let's take another deep, full inhale. And the exhale, imagine a wave of relaxation washing down your entire body, from the crown all the way down through the torso, through your legs, washing away all stress, all tension, down out of your body and into the ground. Let's do that again, taking a deep, full inhale. And the exhale, feeling this wave of relaxation cascading down the entire body, washing away all stress, all negativity, any heavy energy from the day. Let it all wash down out of your body to the ground. Let's do that one final time. Taking a deep, full inhale. And on the exhale, letting go of anything that's not helping you, anything that's not serving you. Let it all just wash down out of your body into the ground. Now, as we sit here for a few minutes, this full body awareness, either sit in stillness, or if the mind is feeling active, maybe you count your inhales, counting up to 5 as you inhale, and counting slowly back down to 5 as you exhale. Allowing all thoughts to wash away with each exhale. Allowing all distractions, all sensations in the body, just allowing them to arise and then wash away with the exhale. When you're ready, you can slowly start to deepen your inhales. Start to bring your awareness back into this shared space. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin us. So how's everyone doing?
That was awesome. Thank you. Needed that.
Good.
Very relaxed.
I needed that too. Yeah. Great. Tonight I wanted to talk about this idea of loving our ego into wholeness. And so sometimes, so we've been talking a lot about healing our wounds, healing our inner child, breaking out of unproductive patterns. And that's all great stuff, all very important stuff. But sometimes if you've been working on that for a while, you might start to notice that it gets harder to make progress after a while. So when we first start on this healing journey, it can often seem like we're making big leaps and bounds, healing things, healing wounds that have been there for a while, feeling new parts of ourselves, letting ourselves feel new ways, feel different things. But after a while, the progress might kind of feel like it's leveling out. It might seem like it's getting harder to keep healing wounds, or there's some wounds that are just really hard to heal, really stuck in there deep. Seems like no matter how much we love on them, we can't quite heal those wounds, can't quite heal that pain that's deep inside. And sometimes this is because the ego can sometimes start to create an identity around the actual act of healing the wounds. Or in other cases, so sometimes just the ego starts to identify itself as something that is healing wounds. And so if we heal all the wounds, then there's nothing left for the ego to do. The ego can start to, because the ego needs a job, it needs a project, because that's what the ego is. It evolved as a problem solving apparatus that evolved within us to help us survive the challenges of living as a early modern human, when we were fighting on the Serengeti, trying to survive, trying to fight to get enough food, trying to avoid predators, trying to work with our tribe. So when our brains evolved, when the ego evolved, there were lots of challenges that needed to be solved, and the ego evolved as a way to solve these challenges, solve these problems in order to keep us alive. But now that most of us live in an environment where we don't need to solve problems to survive, the ego starts figuring out, or starts coming up with other things that it constantly needs to be working on to solve. The ego starts finding other problems to fix, other problems to obsess about, that it needs to constantly work on to fix. And if there's, to the ego, the idea of not having any problems, not having anything to work on, not having anything to do, that can be a little bit threatening to the ego. And so sometimes the ego will subconsciously hold on to wounds, or hold on to bad habits, just because the ego feels like it needs something to do. The ego feels like it needs something to justify its existence. And so that's one reason why it can be difficult to heal some of these wounds to completion. And another reason is that sometimes the ego starts to identify itself, create an identity around having the wound itself. So, for example, say if your entire life you've had a troubling relationship with your mother, your ego might start to define itself as based on this troubling relationship with your mother. And the ego doesn't know who it is without having this defining factor. And so that's another way the ego might subconsciously hold on to a wound, because it doesn't know who it is without this wound. And so these are just a couple ways that the ego, despite its best intentions, can sometimes get in our way. And the ego's not evil. It's not trying to do this. It's not trying to sabotage us. It's not trying to draw out our suffering, or it doesn't know any better. And so this is where some practices of mindfulness and our self-love practices can help quiet the ego, quite calm it down. So a lot of the traditional spiritual approaches focused mostly on just calming the ego and trying to still it, just trying to bring it to a place of peace. And that's one way to approach it, and that works sometimes. But as we've been talking about here, another way to approach that is to give the ego love. So if the ego wants something to fixate on, you can lead it to fixate on love instead. If just if going to stillness is too big of a jump, we can take a stepping point through focusing on love before maybe as a waypoint, before we get to being totally quiet, totally silent in the mind. If that's indeed something that you want to work towards, maybe you don't want to. There's no need to work towards stillness. Love is a pretty good place to work towards. And so yeah, so we'll do an exercise later on tonight, working on giving some love directly to the ego in order to help quiet the ego, settle down. And maybe it could be some way to help to resolve some of these wounds and unproductive patterns that we're holding on to. And so I think that's all I have to say about that for now. Are there any questions or comments on that topic? Does that make sense?
Yeah, super relatable, and really easy to see where those patterns carry out in my reactions, the victim mentality there. Yeah, so thank you for speaking to that. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Yeah, it was very good. Good thoughts.
Yeah. Does it make sense? I mean, can you kind of sense how the ego could do that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Cool. All right. So let's do a meditation. We'll start with one of our heart-centered meditations to get in that place of love, and then we'll do an exercise where we give love directly to the ego. So let's start by finding a comfortable seat, settling into our bodies. Close our eyes, settle into our seats. Feel our feet connecting us to the ground. Feel our hips connecting us to our seat. Feel the shoulders over the hips, the head above the shoulders. Let's take a deep cleansing breath, inhaling, feeling the ribs expand. And exhale, letting go of stress, letting go of tension, settling into this moment. So let's start with our fourfold breath of love meditation, the box breathing meditation. So the basic pattern is we'll inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then hold the exhale for a count of 4. So let's just start with the breathing first. You can all exhale together right now to clear the air from the lungs. Then inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And exhale, 2, 3, 4. And hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, imagine we're breathing in love, feeling love fill up our body. As we hold, imagine your body just shining with love, feeling the warmth and healing and radiance in your body. As we exhale, imagine we're pushing that love out through the body, through all the veins and cells. And as we hold the exhale, imagine this bubble of love surrounding the body like an aura. So inhale, breathing in love, feeling this warmth and healing and compassion filling the body. Then hold, feel or see the body shining with love. Maybe it's goldish, reddish color. Maybe it's pastel pinks and purples. And exhale, start moving that love out through the body, through every single cell, every single pore. And as we hold the exhale, feel this bubble of love surrounding the body. So continue that pattern on your own for a couple minutes to fill ourselves with love. Now that we're in this space of love, feeling love all around us. Invite you to imagine your ego. And it can look like whatever you want it to look like. I kind of picture my ego as like a minion from that movie. Or maybe picture it like a little house elf from Harry Potter. You know, some kind of little busybody creature that has good intentions and means well, but it's not very bright on its own, needs lots of directions. It's always kind of getting into trouble, always getting up to something. So whatever your ego looks like to you, maybe it's something totally different. Maybe it's a version of you. Maybe it's something totally different. Whatever works for you, whatever helps you visualize your ego, that part of your brain that's always looking to do something, always looking for what's wrong, always looking for what can be improved, always looking for what you need to do next. Maybe it's like a good-natured Labrador retriever that always wants to just wants you to throw the ball for it, just wants something to do, wants something to run after. So however you're picturing your ego, imagine it's standing there right in front of you. You have its attention. You have its attention for a moment now. You can just tell your ego, it's okay. You can slow down. You can relax. Maybe you imagine giving it a big hug, a big squeeze. Maybe give it a glass of water, tell it to sit down, take a load off its feet. Just relax, ego. You can slow down, you can calm down. Don't need to always be running around trying to fix something. Maybe you keep telling yourself if there's something that you're worried about, remind yourself that you'll deal with it when it comes up. If there's something you're dreading in the future, you can just relax for now and deal with that when it comes up. And maybe if there's something you've been working on for a long time, some wound you've been trying to heal, some wound that's been a big part of your identity, maybe you thank your ego for all the hard work it's done. It's just trying to help you. The egos aren't trying to make us miserable, just doing the best that it can. And if your ego refuses to sit still, maybe you just reach out and grab it, hug it. Hug it like a squirming child, hold it tight, and just give it some love. Tell it thank you. Tell it it's done enough. It can rest now. You keep squeezing it, keep loving it, keep giving love right to the source of your ego. Whatever it thinks it needs to do, you can just smile, nod politely, and just continue hugging it, continue loving it, continue to let it rest. Tell it it's done a good job. It's gotten you here today so far. It's gotten you this far in life, so it's doing okay. And every time it tries to get back to work, just gently but firmly grab it by the shoulders and pull it tight against you again. Squeeze it, hug it, give it some love. Love that squirrely little ego into submission. Every time it tries to think about the future or think about the past, just pull it tight, give it another squeeze, give it some more love. And maybe your ego is holding on to some old wound or some old part of yourself, like a raggedy old stuffed animal that's falling apart. And maybe you just give it love. Or give it this nice, shiny new teddy bear of love to hold on to instead of the old falling apart wound, the old run into the ground identity. Give it this nice new shiny teddy bear of love to hold on to cling to define itself by. And when you've had enough, when you're feeling good, maybe you pat your ego on its head, tell it good job. And then step away, come back to this moment. Come back to this shared space. Maybe deepen your inhales, take a few deep breaths. Come back into this present moment. When you're ready, you can open your eyes and rejoin us. So how was that exercise? Yeah, it's kind of,
I like that one. I like picturing my ego as a little minion. It adds up.
that seems fitting for me.
Yeah.
Can just see it all get into trouble, trying.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh, that explains a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
I found this particularly helpful today because I was called racist today. So my ego took a little hit from that.
Oh yeah.
My ego needed some love. Yeah. Well, that's what you get when you have 14-year-olds and you don't let them leave to go back to disturb another class to get something they forgot. Oh, you're not letting me go because you're racist. Okay.
That sounds like a challenging situation.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think I caught the kids off guard because I addressed it in front of the class. I'm like, yeah, we're all a little bit racist.
Oh yeah.
That's the point of, a lot of the books that I've read about, with white fragility and all. So I think they kind of realized, oh, maybe she's not that racist.
Well, good. Yeah.
But yeah, my ego is still bruised from that because try not to be racist.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good time to give the ego some love.
Yeah, that is a rough situation to be in, Maria. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I grew up in a predominantly Black neighborhood, and that card was drawn so often that it was like it like, what can you say? You back down. Yeah, it's an interesting brand of ego bruise that really sucks.
Yeah, and I saw a
Sorry.
like meme on, I don't know, internet, Facebook or Instagram, and it said something along the lines of, if you wouldn't take advice from the person, don't be offended by anything they say. I'm like, yeah, that's a good point, because I'm not going to take any kind of advice from a 14-year-old, so why should I be offended by anything that they say?
14-year-olds are freaking mean. Let's be real. They can, I mean, not always, but they can be really mean.
Yeah, it's that state, those ink blot tests, if they do those on teenagers but they run them as an adult, it will come up as a psychotic adult. So I'm always trying to remember, okay, teenagers are just psychotic adults, and puts it completely in perspective.
That is a good thing to remember.
Well, Alex is still 12, he's still a little kid, but then somehow when they're 14 and they're in high school, they just seem like adults, but you got to remember they're not.
Right. They're just
developing.
little miniature psychotics. Wow. Teachers really should get hazard pay.
Right. Yes.
Well, my plan is sell everything and move to Germany and get paid the equivalent of a doctor or lawyer. Have my 1/3 of the living costs and basically free healthcare. We have it all wrong here. Well, maybe not. Now, I don't know. We'll see where Russia's at in 10 years.
Yeah, I am traveling and backpacking. I met several teachers from Germany, and it was like every 5th year, they get paid to just take a year off and they could just travel.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, you need that.
They're treated like, college professors, and they're respected. I don't understand where the breakdown is in the American culture, why teachers aren't respected. And now the new stuff in the last couple of years of we're being accused of indoctrinating students. I'm like, okay, God.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah, my heart goes out to you there. That sucks.
Yeah, I just keep looking for other jobs. Evening.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got a couple minutes left. Any requests?
I'm gonna say goodbye. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say goodbye and get on my next meeting. But thank you so much. That was awesome. And it was
Right.
great to see you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, good to see you. Bye.
Whatever. All your stuff is good.
Yeah. Let's try that. How about that 7 sips of light meditation?
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah.
All right. So let's close our eyes, settle into our seats. And for this meditation, we'll take 7 small sips of air. With each sip, imagine the breath is coming to one of the chakras, moving its way up the spine. So the first sip comes to the root chakra, the second sip comes to the navel chakra, the third sip of air comes up to the heart chakra, the fourth comes up to the throat, the fifth comes up to I missed one. I missed the sacral chakra. So the first breath goes to the root chakra, second goes to the sacral chakra, third goes to the navel, fourth goes to the heart, fifth goes to the throat, sixth up to the third eye, and 7 up to the crown. Basically, just as we, with each sip of air, moving the energy, moving the breath a little bit further up the spine. Then the exhale, imagine shower of light just exploding out of the top of the head and raining down the body as we exhale. So we'll start all together. Start by exhaling to clear all the air from the lungs. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then exhale. So continue that pattern on your own for a few minutes. When you're ready, you can let your breathing return to normal. Maybe take a few slower, deeper inhales. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Join us. All right, well, it was great to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good night. Have a good,
Thanks. You too.
good luck with the kids.
I need it. This is a good place to vent.
Yeah. All right, bye.
Okay, bye.